Welcome to the Car Guys and an adventure in Wales in this 718 Spyder. I was invited by Craig, who runs Craig's Spyder Club, the WhatsApp group that tries to organise events for all Spyder owners. We've got 30 different Spyders of all generations, all colours, all specs, thrashing themselves around some very quiet and beautiful parts of Wales. Ultimate driving roads that were picked out by Haitham himself, who is of course a local. And obviously I couldn't say no, and this is the story of that trip. Now, one thing I should let you know is that I did have pneumonia during this trip, so if I'm not my 1000% bright-eyed, energetic self, now you know why. So if you fancy a road trip in a bunch of Porsches around Wales, this is the episode for you, my friends. Good morning then from Llandovery in Wales. I've been invited along with 30 other Porsche Spyders from various generations on a 2-day blast through some of Wales's greatest roads, led by our tour guide Haitham, who you may remember from my 100 Porsche Spyders video. This is our starting point this morning. It's just after 6:30. Everyone's getting breakfast and then getting their Spyders prepped and ready to go. And we've got a 2.5-hour first drive, which promises to be extremely exciting and some of the best roads we will see all tour. The format of this road trip is pretty simple. We basically start here, we then drive very fast to here, have some lunch, drive very fast again for some more time over the afternoon, then we stay over. It's a 2-day tour broken up into morning and afternoon sessions, and it promises to be an epic road trip amongst like-minded Porsche Spyder owners, all driving their cars as nature intended, all obviously with the roofs off. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You're coming along for the ride. As you can see, everyone's up. We've got the cars running, warming up, very important obviously before some vigorous driving. We've also got a goodie bag and coffee's just arrived. And yeah, I think it promises to be a pretty good day. So we're on our way then. As you can see, we're walkie-talkied up. We've got all the equipment we need, all the gear and no idea. We've got some incredible roads for you, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a camera on the front and the back, so let's see what we can capture there. I've got no real plan about what I'm going to do for this episode. Let's just see what happens. Just had a well-needed comfort break, and now we're in the belly of some valleys, granite roads, quarry-esque stuff going on. It's absolutely glorious. So let's have a quick recap then on the 718 Spyder. Just picked it up from having the rear engine mounts replaced under warranty. So that's just been done, and there was a alignment issue on the rear of the car. So for some reason, from factory and when delivered, this car was well out at the rear and not aligned properly, and unfortunately the dealership had no idea how to fix it. So there was a few fraught phone calls and a bit of worry about how they were going to have to try and bodge this thing in order to get it back in line. But fortunately at the 11th hour, Porsche contacted them and told them the exact procedure for adjusting the alignment on the Spyder, which I guess must be different from the GT4. How about that, eh? Didn't I promise you some proper Welsh driving roads? It's absolutely glorious. The weather is incredible. Obviously the Spyders look amazing in the sunlight. There's some very special trick exhausts going on up ahead of me, I noticed. They make my car sound like absolute crap. But what a sight to see 30 Spyders piercing through the Welsh valleys. Just incredible. But it's not over yet. I've changed position now, so I've got a gentian blue car ahead of me, and we are twisting around some quite stunning roads. These are lovely, lovely roads. They're not that wide, which can be a bit of a problem, but the scenery is astounding. Look at that. You just see a snake of Spyders all the way up the mountain ahead of me. This is what a road trip is all about. You're out with your mates, you're all in fabulous sports cars, the scenery's incredible, someone's got local knowledge, that's always important. Just incredible. Behind me I've got Barry and his dad Bruce, who are two of the nicest people you will ever meet. I mean, look at that. You can't really see it obviously because that's the view over there, but wow, just Welsh mountains all around. It's fabulous, honestly. These roads, Haitham, you're a legend. These roads are just wonderful. Everyone's friendly, everyone's like-minded. Look at that, right up on the head of the road I can see a sort of viper green, python green Spyder. A little bit of water. In the convoy we've got Miami blue, gentian blue, we've got this incredibly beautiful light blue that I never remember the name of. Wow, look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm not sure what's happened to my titanium race exhaust, but I can hardly hear it. Lots of undulations, lots of points where you could take off if you're carrying a bit too much speed. Oh, this is fabulous. Very similar terrain at the moment to the Scottish Highlands, and this is only day one, remember. There's plenty of driving to come. Oh, sheep. Hello, Mr. Sheep. Apparently, if the sheep raises its head, it's very likely to run out in front of you, so make sure they've got their heads bowed. We're on our way now to a lunch stop, and then we've got a whole afternoon of incredible driving as well before we get to our overnight stop. I'm just having the best time. Here we are then on day 2, and we are deep into Wales. We've also been joined by YouTube sensation Roger Bailey in his Miami Blue Spyder. He's just up ahead. Today, again, lots of fabulous driving roads, but the thing that dominates this whole experience is the people. Yes, the landscape is fantastic, but it's the people you meet that really makes a difference. I've done 5,500 miles on it so far, most of those miles obviously without the roof. I have to admit that the racing exhaust that I added to the car doesn't really seem to be doing it for me. I very rarely remember that I've even got a racing exhaust on it, and that can surely only be a bad thing. But in terms of handling, it's exceptional. It handles these sort of mountain roads really well, and you get big dollops of acceleration which seem to last forever because, of course, this is a very long geared car. Second gear just goes on and on and on, and really, I know people did mention it at the time, probably it could do with being slightly shorter gear ratios, as they have done in the GT4 RS. But there can be no doubt that the 718 Spyder is perfectly suited to these sort of Welsh hoons. The steering is delicate, the gear change is very precise. In fact, there was a recall recently to do with the gear change, and whether it's my mind playing tricks on me, but I think it feels even better than it did. That sort of big push that you get in second and third gears, that shove of acceleration, very useful for dispatching slow moving cars and for punching out of tight corners. And of course it's a Porsche, so it feels utterly bomb proof, and it just feels like you could thrash the hell out of it all day, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So what have we learned on this 2-day jaunt around Wales? Well, number one, Haitham really knows his roads, and he is an excellent tour guide, very organised. Both him and his wife and the support team have done a fantastic job of keeping us happy, keeping us fed, keeping us in the right direction, very important, and also giving us loads of little touches like the goodie bags, which we weren't expecting. It's just fantastic, and even premium supercar clubs don't do that, so that was extremely impressive. Overall, it's just been a really warm experience. I want to say a big shout out to all the people that I met and had dinner with and talked to on the trip. There were some fascinating people. Of course, you forget really that Spyder owners tend to be quite discerning. They tend to have other car collections, or a lot of them do, and they're usually self-made people, so they always got fascinating backstories. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone that I met. It really was an enjoyable trip, very warm, and we had a fantastic time. If you've got a Porsche Spyder, incidentally, make sure you get in touch with Craig on the WhatsApp group. I'll put the details in the description. It really is worth joining the club, meeting other members, and also going increasingly on trips that they're organising like this. Porsche itself doesn't really seem to recognise the Spyder as a different model designation from the Boxster, and it really does not seem to do anything special for Spyder owners, which is a shame, and really clubs like Craig's Spyder Club fill that gap, and it's a much needed one. I absolutely love my Spyder, as I'm pretty sure you can tell, and despite hacking my guts out during the making of this video, I had a blast. I had a great time. It's perfect for those Welsh roads. And with that, back to the studio. Thanks for watching this episode on the 2-day tour of Craig's Spyder Club in Wales in this 718 Spyder, along with 30 other like-minded Spyder owners. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it entertaining. If you like what we're doing on The Car Guys, please subscribe, leave comments and likes. There'll be another episode next week.